Skull Warrior, are you sure this is a good idea?
Of course I am. I saw a video about it.
33, 34.
Hello everyone and welcome to the recent review. Today we're looking over set number 70791, Skull Warrior. The set contains approximately 102 pieces, was released in summer of 2015, and the time of release was approximately $15. Alright, we're back! Back to the recent reviews, and starting off with this guy, a skeleton of his former self. No? Okay. So let's kick things off. We're going to do things a little bit differently, and this is going to be the norm from now on. But first, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Just because a pro, con, and or objective opinion is here does not necessarily mean it is my opinion. Assume that it is not unless I explicitly say otherwise. That good? Got it? Alright, great. Let's get on with the review. Starting off with the box. Get. Yep, we got the box. It's boxed, it's flimsy. It's cardboard, choking hazard. Don't eat the pieces. Gosh, dang it. These are here because of you! But anyway, disclaimer, box, yada yada, name, character, comic, the actions, and... Okay, not gonna waste too much time on that. More than we already have. So, here we have Skull Warrior. In the story, Skull Warrior is actually a horde set. One of many of his kind, and he's going around, he's trying to knock masks off people with his ice spear and ice bow thing. His freeze bow. I'm not really sure what the names of those two weapons are called. Bottom line, a lot of them, they grow more powerful with every mask that is captured. And that's the gist of it. Speaking of masks, we do have this mask, and we'll go ahead and get this out of the way first. This is the Mask of Ice. It's partially taken over, partially drained. It looks really cool. A lot of people really do like this mask, because it's partially translucent, but also partially gold. A lot of mocking potential here. However, the gold is not a true gold. It's not like Kopaka's gold. It's slightly offset. So just keep that in mind. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into Skull Warrior. Starting off with his build. Now his build, it's a fairly standard build. A lot of people would agree that it's a very simplistic and standard build. Skull Warrior uses the Creature and Character Building System, more commonly known as CCBS, which is why a lot of people also agree that his build is fairly standard, simplistic, simple. There's not a whole lot going on toward him. He's not a complex set. If you really want something that you're going to dive right into and, get your hands all nice and raw and calloused, this guy's not it. You're going to clip a bunch of joints together, and that's about the gist of it. Some people like that, and some people do not. As far as new pieces are concerned, we have plenty. We have a new kind of sword piece here, which is being used as a spear on this set. We have the new mask, which is what seems to be kind of a iron skull of sorts. It's really cool. It comes in gunmetal, and it has a lot of really great textures to it. You got the smooth texture on the top, but then you also have this very rough texture around the mouth guard and on the sides here. It's very multi-textured, and it's very neat to look at. As far as armor is concerned, we have this new armor piece, and that's just one general texture, but it's very detailed. Almost looks like armor that's either decayed or been slashed through. As far as other pieces are concerned, we have this torso piece. It looks very skeletal, almost like a rib cage, but obviously it's not really. And it comes in this transparent light blue, which looks arguably very great. And, it's very nice. Light blue is there. So a lot of people are very happy that the new pieces are here. We do have a gearbox, which gives us one of our functions. And as far as the, overall build, it is what it is. He doesn't stand all that tall. He's actually a very short set, at least if you're comparing him to Tahu. But we're going to compare him to Kopaka right about now. So there we have Skull Warrior, and here we have his arch rival, donning his golden mask, Kopaka. Now, as you can see, Kopaka only stands right about here. Skull Warrior is at least a head shorter. So, there you have it. I'm going to put Kopaka off to the side for now, until later. Moving on, we have his configuration. How does he look? Well, Skull Warrior is obviously trying to invoke the skeleton theme. He's trying to look like he is one of the undead, which, well, many people would agree he pulls off quite well. Now, we're going to get into the color scheme a little bit here, to boot. Obviously, Skull Warrior is supposed to represent the ice villain of the theme. Ice villain versus ice hero. And he's trying to be the ice villain. You can tell specifically because of the light blue, which Kopaka shares with him. Now, alongside his color scheme, which is comprised of this transparent light blue, transparent orange, gunmetal, silver, and black gray, and a little bit of yellow, it works. A lot of people agree that the color scheme does generally work out. However, the strongest criticism that this set has received is actually from the orange. Now, orange and blue is generally considered to be accentable. You can accent blue with orange. That is okay. Does this set do that? Many people agree that it works out well. However, for those that do not like this color mix, they normally peg that as a con. As far as the overall look goes, he does generally pull off the skeleton theme, thanks to these other new pieces which I failed to mention earlier, the skull bone piece. Now, armor doesn't traditionally connect to it very well. It can, but not like it does on normal ball and socket joints. So, there you go. He does pull off the skeleton theme, especially with the new mask. As far as other new pieces are concerned, just recolors this time. We actually have the eye stalk in orange, which we hadn't gotten prior, which is really cool to see. As far as other recolors are concerned, I'm not 100% certain. As I understand it, these joints could be new, although I am fairly certain that they're not. Fairly certain they did come in another set earlier on. What I do know is a new recolor is his torso piece right here. This is new in silver. And as you can see, here's the inside of that piece. Looks really nice. You just clip that right back on. Yep. So I know that is a new recolor. His color scheme does work out well for him, the largest criticism, like I said, being the orange. However, a lot of people also don't like his asymmetry. See, the color scheme kind of works into this. One half of him is blue, the other half is blue with an orange and kind of a mixture. One half is silverish, one half is not so silverish. His colors are actually rather asymmetric. Now, a lot of people do find this to be a good thing because they really wanted the whole decaying skeleton look to come across, which, to the set's credit, it does. It does look like he has had a very uneven decay. And for that, it works for the set. That is a good thing. However, some people just do not like asymmetry of any kind and feel they could have made him symmetrical and arguably better. Some other things regarding the build, people do not like his feet. His feet are actually rather tiny, and these weird orange toe things don't do a whole lot to help. To a degree, however, they will stabilize him, so you're not going to be able to knock him over with a breath of fresh air. So let's get on to the functions. As we can see here, we have quite a few different kinds of functions. Obviously, the standard mask function, where you can pop the mask off. It'll fly off thanks to hitting the back of the eye stalk. Put that back on. We also have weaponry functions. Now this is a great bow. Many agree that this is a really fantastic looking bow. It looks like kind of an upgraded version of Protector of Jungle's bow. Or Vizuna? I believe it's Vizuna. The function here, as you can see, has the typical stud launcher. Many people actually don't like the fact that it uses white studs, since white doesn't appear anywhere else in the set, unless, arguably, you could say it appears on the chest plate. However, here we have it. We got these white studs, and the stud launcher, which, this is a new recolor. It's new in this color. Blue, light blue, transparent blue. What you do, you turn this gear here, and watch them fly seamlessly, without any issue whatsoever. Now the set comes with 6, but it comes with at least 6 more. Arguably 7, it really depends on how much I want to dump in there. So that's a good thing. Now there's another thing you can do with this bow. You can take it off. Now a lot of people really do like this bow, not just because of how it looks, but because of how it functions. You have several different types of access points, so you can pose a set really, really well. I'm going to put that off to the side for the moment. On his back here, we have a spear. And what you do here is you take this, just pop it off like so. You can go ahead and leave that little blue thing back there. Pop it off as so. Take the spear, disconnect it, take this little red pin, put it right there, turn that upside down. You go ahead and you connect the spear to his hand like so. That brings us to another function. Back here you've got a gear, you turn this, and like most characters he will swing his arm up and down. So he can melee combat other characters. That is really cool. Dual weapon, dual purpose functionality. It's very rare that you ever see that in Bionicle sets, so seeing it here is quite special. Now, another added bonus would be this weapon here. A lot of people would argue that you can't really get this on without having some free-floating pieces. More specifically, these three right here. You take that off, take the bow, you just have to stick it on like so. Not necessarily the case. You can take it off, and then you put the bow like that. However, as Venom, our very own Venom, had pointed out to me, you can take these free-floating parts and connect them right back here. This way, you can just keep them around. You don't need to constantly be watching for where they are or whatnot. If you turn them down like that, it won't interfere with the gear function at all. So there you have it. You can store both weapons. Now that is a great bonus. Weapon storage has always been a point of contention amongst Bionicle fans in various different sets, but this one manages to pull it off with not just one, but two different weapons. So it can fully function as a dual-purpose character. That is phenomenal. Many really like this set for that reason. So how does this set stack up against its token battle opponent? Well, let's go ahead and find out before we wrap up here. So here we have Skull Warrior, and he's fighting Kopaka, Toa of Ice. You know, Kopaka's got his shield, and this falls into the play value category, just to let you guys know. This is where the set really we figure out whether this set has the proper play value that LEGO intended it to have. So obviously we got Kopaka here, and he's got his spear, and he's swinging his spear. But as far as Skull Warrior goes, he has a hooked spear. So he can come on over, and he can yank the mask off. And just kind of hold on to it. So that does work, but only if you're very lucky and you're trying to really swing it. Now as far as this mask is concerned, this drained mask here, you can plug it right on a Kopaka, and for the most part, it doesn't look like anything has really changed. It actually works very well for Kopaka. It still looks like his golden mask, but it also has that added bonus of the transparent blue. And that really blends in, it really works with the set. However, if you do look closely, it does look slightly different. It's an offset gold, as opposed to the pure gold on the shoulders, chest, and so on and so forth. So, while you can have it there, many people would opt not to. You can go ahead, take his original golden mask, plug it back on, and let him be on his way. So as far as play value is concerned, I definitely think if you have Kopaka, you're going to get a lot more. Skull Warrior does have plenty, don't get me wrong. He actually has the most, arguably, out of many of the other Skull creatures, as many would say. However, the bonus is always multiplied when you factor in other characters, especially ones that have been advertised to fight. And obviously, he is supposed to go up against Kopaka. So how do you guys think this set fares? Do you like this set? Is he your favorite Skull character? Let me know either in the comments below or on the TTV message boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. Thank you all very much for watching, and if you want to see a subjective review of this set, go ahead and click right here for a written review that I have done on Skull Warrior, right on the TTV message boards. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.